Welcome back to Self Love. So there was this pastor. She was married to the bishop of her church, and she so often preached against fornication, and she encouraged single women to abstain from sex. She so much talked about how it was unrighteous and sinful to have premarital sex, which is okay until her husband died. And for a while, she did not have sex. And then, for the first time, she understood the challenges that single women go through when they are not married or they don't have any body to satisfy their sexual needs. It's very easy when you're not facing a challenge to be able to tell others who are facing that challenge how to go about living their lives. I wonder if God is so much against polygamy. And if He is, there are more women than men. How is He solving that problem? These women, most single women who don't have men to marry them, what are they supposed to do with their own sexual desires? Are they supposed to manufacture men or create them? If God is so much against polygamy, why did he allow people like David to have more than one woman? David was a man after God's own heart, and yet David had many women. God was not against him for having all those women, but he was against him for taking Uriah's wife Bathsheba and then killing Uriah in the process just to get his wife. So, if David, who is a man after God's own heart, could have many women, why can a, a guy of today not have more than one woman? Solomon was a guy who prayed to God, and God answered him and made him the wisest man that ever lived. And yet, Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Why did God not condemn him for having all those women? Does having more than one woman stop you from serving God or praying to God or worshiping God or loving other people or serving people? How come the Muslims are able to have four women and somehow they make it work, and a regular Westerner cannot have more than one woman? The bottom line is a lot of married men want other women. More than 80% of the married men I have talked to have either cheated or would like to have another woman. Some of them are just afraid of the consequences. Another bottom line is there are less men and more women. And those men will be very, very happy to have more than one woman and just uh, uh, be able to satisfy themselves too. Because part of the problem that I see is married women will not want their husbands to go out, but sometimes they don't want to satisfy them at home. Sometimes they'll come up with these excuses of, oh, I have headache, or I'm not feeling well, or the children, or I'm tired. And yet the man has needs, but the woman will not satisfy them or will shabbily satisfy them. I used to have a friend who complained so much about not having enough sex, and he used to say his wife gives him pity sex. Like after a week, she will just let him have it one time just to get him off her back, and then he will be there miserable. So if women get to the point where they don't feel like having sex frequently with their husbands, why not allow him have somebody who is also in need of satisfying themselves? I am just thinking aloud, and I would like to hear your take on this. Should the few men that we have other women, or should they just stick with one person who may or may not satisfy them? Should the government allow people who want to be in polygamous relationship do that openly and happily? There are women who don't mind having other sisters in a relationship. Should the men be allowed to do that, have other women? It is a matter of choice. I'm not saying everybody must have a partner if they don't want to. There are men who one woman is enough for them, but there are others who may want two or three. Can they be allowed to do that if it is okay with the women to for them to share that relationship? Is it okay for people to openly have the kind of relationships they have in a respectful and honorable way, or sneak behind and still do what they want to do anyway? I am just thinking aloud. When a single woman is so much in need of a man, how much prayer is she praying? Lord, I want a man. Lord, help me get somebody. Lord, I need to find my Mr. Right. And every time she is praying, all about getting a man, is it possible for her to share some man who may want to share himself with her, and then concentrate on praying or about something else? There is so much to pray about, other than a married man sometimes praying, God, I need for this woman to help me have sex with me. And then there is a single woman somewhere praying, God, send me somebody, I just need to have somebody on my bed. These are real problems out there. Let us have a discussion about them. What do you think? Should a man openly be allowed to have two women? If the women are okay with it, should they share a man? Subscribe to my channel, like, dislike, comment, and let's keep having discussions together. All right. God bless. Bye.